Yeah, in order for us to push our workforce to a global market and being more competitive, at least there is a 5 focus area for discussion during this NHCCE 2023. Among others is technology and innovation, leadership and growth, motivation and well-being, learning and development, dynamic workforce, and future workplace. If we can pick one of the focus area, technology and innovation, because you've been talking about that for quite some time, and that's the way forward for Malaysian economy, which want to bring more technology into our country, and that's become one of the pillar economy in the country. So if we take that as an example, what can participants expect from the discussion that's going on?
Generally, we pick those 5 topics that you mentioned. Those are actually those topics were carefully chosen actually to reflect on the theme and to expand on the theme. So we expanded that theme to look at the 5 areas. So for each of those individual discussions, those pillars, we will actually have very focused forums to look at it. So we will have speakers and experts both within the country, regionally as well as internationally, to come together to talk on these topics. So if you're talking about, you mentioned technology and innovation, we will have speakers who will speak about how it is important to drive, how it is important to, and how we can drive the businesses to move into technology and innovation. So it's not just about employing and using technology of innovation. It's also talking about preparing your workforce in order to meet that. So you will need a more agile workforce. You will need a more resilient workforce. And by coming to the conference, someone will be able to we actually encourage more interactive discussions during our forums. So we encourage our participants to actually ask questions, get the feedback from the panelists, as well as to go through all the different, because we have many things going on at conference. So the idea is that by going to that conference, individuals will be able to see. It depends on who you are. So if you are a HR professional, basically in the field of human capital development, you would be able to think on a more strategic point of view. How HR can play a more strategic view in order to meet the requirements, specifically for technology innovation, but not only that, but also for the rest. As an individual going in, then you can see that, okay, maybe these are things that I need to develop myself in. Maybe these are the opportunities that are available to me. You might even look at technology that you've never seen before. So by having a conference such as the NHCCE, the whole idea is basically exposure and discourse. We want to expose our delegates, we want to expose all the participants to what is available out there, both current and future, and as well for them to be involved in discussions on how we can meet these requirements, on what are the new things that are coming in and things like that.
But then as a participant, when you come, do they have to choose only one of the pillars, or they can go to all discussions?
No, because it's a big thing, this conference. The conference itself is a 2-day conference where they will have discussions discussions specific to each pillar. So all the delegates will attend all of those things, so it's not a problem. There are other areas in the conferences where we will showcase technologies and innovations and opportunities and offerings on how to develop human capital, as well as some of the technology in use currently. So that is another way that participants can see all this by taking part in the conference as well as the exhibition, the other parts of the NHCCE.
But then is there any preparation that they need to do, before they come? Prepare some list of questions to ask the professional who we're going to talk during the conference.
I would say come with an open mind. That's the most important thing, because the whole idea is that they are there to be exposed to and to learn new things. I mean, if there are, if you're talking about a more seasoned HR professional, probably there are questions that they want to ask. So fine, by all means. Make a list of things that you would like to learn, make a list of things that you would like to find out, and bring it to the conference, then look for what you need at the conference. But at the same time, please open your mind, look at what is possible. Because the NHCCE is not just about the now, it's also about the future. So sometimes if you limit yourself, it's a bit looking at the present. We want people to look at what is possible beyond what is happening now, what is possible for each individual, for organizations to improve, to expand, to make themselves better through everything that we will be showcasing during the conference.
Is there any reading materials that we will suggest to the participants to read before they come to the NHCCE?
I wouldn't. I don't think so. I mean, not really, because the conference itself is a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So again, come with an open mind, absorb what you have. You might probably get a few reading material during the conference. I don't know. There are things available there.
Yeah. Other than the conference, as you mentioned before, there is also exhibition there. At least there are 400 exhibitors.
Yes.
Can you share who are these 400 exhibitors joining the conference?
This year we are offering something different, because we are actually looking at very specific. The exhibitors will largely be made up of companies and organizations who are offering services and products related to human capital development. But this year we are doing something different, in which even on the exhibition floor we actually have some specific areas looking at certain things. So you will have a specific area, an international pavilion that will look at exhibitors from outside of Malaysia. We will have areas dedicated to TVET and to STEM and to things like that. So that's one thing. But it's not just about the exhibition. At the same time, we will have multiple activities going on. Part of it is that during the 2-day NHCCE, we will also have a career fair going on at the same time. So there will be opportunity for individuals to actually come. If you're looking for a job, you're looking to get a better job, that opportunity is there. We are also looking at business matching opportunities. So our exhibitors, we have asked our exhibitors, don't just open the booth and exhibit. Please come up with something that is special that will be available to the delegates and the participants of the NHCCE. So by coming to the NHCCE, you might have opportunities that were not available to you if you did not come. So these are the things that we are looking at from the exhibition during those 2 days.
Other than the exhibition, there's also a note here regarding the speakers that are going to talk during the conference. Can you share more about these prominent figures, which I'm not there to pronounce the name. I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly.
to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. but we have many. Of course, we have the local experts, the prominent HR and corporate. And also training-related individuals from within the country. But we are bringing some also special speakers from outside of Malaysia. So among them, we have Dr. Justin Cohen, we have Dave Ulrich, who is considered one of the fathers of modern HR, and we also have Eric Temunda. I think that's the one you're going to have trouble with. But in addition to that, we are also bringing in Ghanim Al-Muftah, who is someone from the Middle East. He is a person with a disability, but that has not stopped him from going out and making something out of himself. He's really, I mean, if you're a football fan, you would have seen him during the opening ceremony of the World Cup in Qatar earlier. So Ghanim Al-Muftah will also be part of the conference. But more important than all of that, we have one very, 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 very special speaker at the conference. We have actually that conference, as part of the conference, Duli Yang Pamulia Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong will actually be speaking at our conference. And I think this is something special because it's not often that you get the Agong to speak at a conference such as this.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera, bersama saya Irfan Faruqi, and today for Agenda Awani we will dive into more on the issues of human capital development here in Malaysia. And when we talk about human development, there is no other entity here in Malaysia who have that standing in discussing and dive into such topic rather than HRD Corp. And today joining us for Agenda Awani is Encik Sofian Amin from HRD Corp, which is the Chief Program Officer. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
And today we specifically want to discuss about the National Human Capital Conference and Exhibition NHCCE.
Correct.
Which is the second edition for that brand.
Correct. That's right.
Before we started, Mr. Sofian already explained to me, it's been started since 2001, and then it's rebranding to a new brand, which is NHCCE, which we're going to discuss further today. But I want to start with, can you give a bit of general idea what is NHCCE and what is different this year compared to last year? Because we are talking about last year, the theme is about HR 5.0. But this year, of course, it's still about human capital development. But what's different? What's so special about this year?
Okay, thank you for that question, Irfan. I think it's quite obvious to everybody, and I'm sure you will agree with me. The past few years has been very tumultuous time, not only for Malaysia, practically all over the globe. So many things have happened, and a lot of that has actually hindered global economic development, and it's also affected lives throughout the globe, including here in Malaysia. But having said that, if you're looking at the other side of the coin, you can also see that all of this uncertainty and changes actually created an opportunity. So, and also in a way, a call to action to companies all over the world. They need to innovate and they need to be more creative in their human capital and human resource implementations in order to create a more resilient, a more agile workforce. HRD Corp, of course, we have always been here for the past 30 years, and our mandate is to drive human capital development in the country. So it is because of all of this that we first started this conference, because we felt that the best way in order to bring people together to talk about all of this, to look at current trends, future trends in human capital development, is actually to have a human capital development focus conference. So this year we are at it again. I'm sure we'll talk about it later. We've been doing this for more or less on and off for the past 30 years. So this year we are looking at having a NHCCE National Human Capital Conference and Exhibition 2023, which will be our biggest one yet. And there are many things that will happen during that conference, and then that will be on show and offered to anybody who comes to the conference, who walks in, who are delegates.
It's so big that HRD Corp has held 2 regional NHCCE for this year only, a northern and Borneo region.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if you go back and look at the history of it, I mean, HRD Corp, we for a very long time before this, we were known as HRDF, and that's why I mentioned the rebranding thing. So as HRDF, we have been running this conference since 2001. But of course, when you come to the year 2020, everything changed. The whole world changed. So we put the conference on hiatus. And it was also during that short period of time in 2021 in which HRDF, we rebranded ourselves as HRD Corporation. After that rebranding, then we had all these discussions. How do we continue to deliver our mandate? How do we continue to drive human capital development in this country? And we decided, okay, let's bring back the conference. And that's where NHCCE last year came up, which turned out to be a huge success. We had about 2,500 delegates at that particular conference. But even with 2,500 delegates, you're only talking about, because it's held in KL, right? So you're talking about mostly Central Region, Peninsular Malaysia. There was a call on the ground saying that we cannot come to KL. So is it possible to have outside of it? So as the saying goes, this is a prophet. I think it's a proverb from the old days saying that if you cannot bring Muhammad to the mountain, let's bring the mountain to Muhammad. So this year we decided to do a bit of a change, and we did 2 regional conferences, one in Penang to cover the northern region, and one in Kota Kinabalu for Borneo. And all of this can only be done thanks to the Ministry of Human Resources, of course, to the state governments, to all our partners, stakeholders, the companies that are registered with us, the training providers, and both conferences turned out to be huge and successful. But having said that, now it's time come back to KL for the next big one.
Okay, but then the question of how, I want to move on to the question of why, especially for young generations, the prospect employees looking out on how they can develop themselves and become professional at a higher level. So why keep pushing on NHCCE for this year again? It's a huge success, yes, but for the little guy, what does it mean for them?
Because you see, when you have conferences like this, well, it's easy to look at, okay, you're doing the same thing year after year, but the conference, it changes from year to year. There is an evolution over time. Because while in the past we have looked at other things, I think we can agree that because of everything that has happened, the HRDF conference in those days was very much human resource focused, HR focused. Whereas the CCE now, we are looking at much bigger than that. We feel that it is not sufficient to only look at HR management. We have to look at how we develop human capital, and not only from a development point of view. We're talking about a more rounded, more holistic, more broader view, and that is why we continue to do this, because every year we have a conference. There will be a new theme, there will be new topics, we are bringing new speakers. The focus will be slightly different, changing with the times, changing with the requirements of the country, of the government, and of course to meet the global requirements for us to continue to be competitive.
Now let's move on to the theme. NHCCE 2023 will be held on 30th and 31st October.
Correct.
In MITEC, Kuala Lumpur, and the theme this year is Pioneering Growth, Inspiring Change.
Yes.
Can you talk more on that?
Okay, pioneering growth, inspiring change. I think if you were to look at the success of Malaysia, I mean, Malaysia first. I use the word rode because there was this talk about the Asian tigers in those days. We rode to the forefront of development globally and regionally, very much based on the premise of low cost, lower skilled workforce, because that was our competitive edge at that time. But with everything that has changed, and I think you can also say that basically what happened in 2020 has changed the global outlook. So that what was once an advantage for us is no longer an advantage. We are no longer that low cost anymore. I mean, they pay us much more than they probably paid our parents and grandparents. So it is important for us to look at change. So it's not we cannot play at that field anymore. We cannot play at that level anymore. We have to look at how we can change our workforce so that we can go up on a higher level. So if you're looking at the value chain of workers, we want to drive Malaysia to a higher skill level so that we can look at higher salaries and how we can drive industries towards more higher level, higher supply chain throughout the globe, so that Malaysia can remain competitive. So that we can look at more future-driven technology. We can look at developing and playing in more higher level markets around the world. So that is the whole idea of this. Inspiring change means we want to drive true human capital development. We want to drive the Malaysian workforce to move up the value chain in terms of skills, in terms of human capital development. All of this is just to ensure that Malaysia continues to be competitive on a global scale.
Well, that's among the speakers that we're going to talk during the conference, and then there's also exhibition. And as you explain well enough about the challenges in terms of human capital development in Malaysia. But then the key takeaway from this 2 days conference and exhibition, Dasari Syariah Corp trying to convey the message to those participants who come that we are going to overcome the challenge of human capital development in Malaysia, and moving forward, what kind of specific challenges here in Malaysia that the participant must be aware of, and when they come and they come back from the exhibition, they do fully understand what the challenges and prepare themselves in order for them to move forward.
I think that, I mean, if you're talking about challenges, there are many things, many challenges that we face on a day-to-day basis. But one thing that we need to remember, I think over the past few months we've been exposed to many initiatives that are planned for and that are coming by the current government. I'm sure most of you have at least heard about or read about the Economy Madani framework by the government, in which they have outlined seven very key areas that we need to accomplish. And 2 of those areas are very much in line with human resources and human capital. We aim to be top 12 in global competitiveness, and we aim to be top 25 in the Human Development Index in the future. So these are things that while challenges will be there, challenges come and go. For me, it is more important if we focus on a goal, and I think these are 2 goals that are, while it is to use the word again, challenging, not easy to achieve, but it is something that all Malaysians should strive for, in line with the government aspirations. And our hope is that with the NHCCE 2023, we will be able to expose all our delegates, all the participants that come, to some of the technologies, some of the innovations, some of the opportunities that are available on how we can meet whatever challenges in our way, finally to achieve these goals that were set up by the government through the Economy Madani framework. We in HRD Corp, we drive human capital development through our levy. So we have a fixed group of companies that are registered with us, and we catalyze their human capital development. But we have had discussions with the government and also with the various stakeholders in the field of human capital development, of HR, and we hope to play a bigger role, not only driving the human capital development of these members, our registered companies. We have also proposed initiatives that will help us to drive individuals throughout the country, so that we aim to create more opportunities, so that individuals who might not be working, who do not access to the fund, either your pre-employment, post-employment, to also have an opportunity. I think I was here a few months ago talking about National Training Week. That was one of the initiatives. But end of the day, we can offer all the opportunities that we want. It is the responsibility and the drive must come from each individual. Because what we did with NTW, what we are hoping to do with NHCCE is to show Malaysians that there is always an opportunity for you to upskill and improve yourself through training, through human capital development. But it is important that you have the drive and the will. And a term that is always repeated, I hear it being repeated more and more nowadays, is lifelong learning. So the journey to improve and upskill yourself is not something that stops when you finish SPM, or when you get your university degree, or when you have to do some sort of special certification to do your job. It's something that goes way beyond that. And I feel that while the NHCCE showcases a lot of things, I think that we also hope to drive the message that individuals need to take a stake and be responsible for their own development. And when they have that, inshallah, HRD Corp, we will support through our various initiatives to meet the development needs of as many Malaysians as we can. Because at the end of the day, it's all about driving the development of the nation.
For those who want to take responsibility of their career and those who have drive and will to improve themselves, so I would like to give you a brief moment to give a promotion and call to action to our viewers so that they can register as fast as they can for this NHCCE this year.
Thank you very much, Irfan. NHCCE will happen on the 30th and the 31st of October, which is about, I think, 2 weeks from now, at MITEC. So, as we have talked about for the past half an hour or so, there are many things, many offerings, many things that will open your eyes during that 2-day conference. So we urge all of you, if you are already coming, thank you very much. But if you have not decided, please join us. You can go to our website, www.hrdcorp.gov.my. Read about the National Human Capital Conference and Exhibition 2023. Sign up. You can also walk in and to be part of the exhibition. So we hope to see all of you there, and we also hope to blow your mind.
Yeah,
Thank you
and
very
for those
much.
who are looking for career opportunity, also bring a resume. It might be the place where you will get kickstart your career there.
Yes.
At the end, thank you so much, Mr. Sofian Amin, Chief Programs Officer, HRD Corp, for joining us
Thank you.
and talking about NHCCE 2023, which is the second edition. The first one started last year, but then HRD has already been committed on developing human capital here in Malaysia for the past 30 years. And that's all for today's discussion for Agenda AWANI.